Hey guys, and I'm just basically, this is a video that the reason I'm doing it is because I've got a new tripod. It's as simple as that. I've always liked sort of recording. I've had a camera for a while, I just haven't had the tripod, and as you know, I used to make videos back in the day. So the reason there's a height level is because the tripod is a sort of landscape thing, blah 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 blah. It's not particularly made for where I'm doing it. Currently, I'm decorating my room, so it's a bit of a mess, but whatever. I'm using a microphone, and I'm going to be trying to link up the audio because the microphone on the internal camera isn't actually very good. But that's by the by. I wanted to make the video about content creators on YouTube, content creators on Twitch, content creators in general. Now, the topic comes up a lot in different areas since dropping Gears of War, since sort of dropping making content. I obviously, since dropping making content, I haven't made content. That's pretty damn obvious. Well done. Statement of the year. But I've been involved in different communities: League, CS:GO, StarCraft, Dota, and Twitch, watching Twitch and stuff, being part of Twitch culture, whatever that means. And also game expansions and games coming out. Now, I wanted to ask you, because I feel like on my channel, more so than others, I've built up an adult audience, or people that actually like to think about what they're saying or what they're commenting, and they actually like to add to discussion. So, what do people think about content creators? The statement I'm bringing up or want to put across is that people talk about cash grabs and selling out more and more and more, and people talk about like a sort of the way people cash grab, the way they get donations, the way people can hop from game to game seemingly. Some people can't hop from game to game. You'll have people that are famous, or I say famous, you know what I mean? You have people that are popular in multiple games. They could stream World of Warcraft, and then they could stream League of Legends, and their fan base will carry over. There are other people that can't do that. They're a one-game man, so to speak. So the point I'm bringing up is that for anyone that is involved in the modern Twitch culture, donations, subscriptions, that whole thing that's come out is, how do people feel on selling out? Recently, there's a new game been announced called Legacy of the Void, which is an expansion for StarCraft 2. I keep looking in the viewfinder, so it probably doesn't look quite right on camera, but you know, I'm getting used to this. And Legacy of the Void, pretty simply, is the expansion for StarCraft 2, the RTS game. There are people that made a lot of money for StarCraft 2. A lot of people that became, this is the point I'm getting onto, a lot of people that become friends through their power, through their popularity in their game or in that scene. They become friends with developers, they become friends with people in high places, so to speak, and as a result they can do one or two things. And one of the things they do I really don't like, and I don't know if anybody else feels like this, but when somebody becomes in a position of power, they never seem to use it to actually better the game. They never want to do that because it severs business ties. People, for example, let's take Day 9, for example, let's take Artosis. These are people in the community that, if you don't know them, I'll try to explain them. They're a content creator, they make videos, they cast or commentate over gameplay. They get people hyped into the scene, into tournaments, etc. Now, people, how can I put this, became really fond of them. They liked them almost more than the game. They became big figures. People trusted them. People liked them. And they don't use that position of power. And it frustrates me. I don't know how other people feel about this, but for me, I felt this firsthand, okay? I used to play Gears of War, okay? I made content. I sort of got up there. I started to get a bit popular, and I sort of stopped. Because the only way to make it feels in content creation is to be an ass kisser. And I don't like that. It frustrates me. What I mean by that is that it's hard to make change. Change is hard to actually accomplish. The reason is because to make change, you've got to tell people what they're doing wrong. Telling other people, like game developers, website owners, that they're doing something wrong severs your ties with them. And then it becomes a case of not, do you like the game? What are you doing? It becomes this game. It becomes this balance of, do you like money? Do you like the money you're receiving? You need stability. I understand people are adults. You have bills to pay. So you need stability. So you can't sever all your ties and call the CEO of a business a dick. I get that. But also, you've fallen into this position of power and you're a figurehead of a community that you actually have to do your job. And you might say, well, I didn't sign up for this. Footballers didn't sign up to become role models, but they realise it's part of the job. As part of being a figurehead of a community, your job should be to push for change. However, I feel that people that become figureheads of communities aren't actually pushing for change. They're just riding the free money train, and it's really frustrating. The example is, let's say, Day 9. Now, I actually have no problem with Day 9. People probably watch him. He's probably the worst example I can give, but it's the only one that comes to mind, okay? A content creator that absolutely adores the game. He puts out video after video after video after video, and then he realises that the game is dying. He can't sustain himself. He can't do it. He can't sustain himself off the game. So he has this balance. He doesn't want to sever ties. He needs stability. And he has a position of power where he needs to make change. If he tells Blizzard, or this can relate to any game, if he tells Blizzard that you need spectate, you need this, you need that, you need this to improve your game or it will die, if he publicly comes out and says that, they will say, I'm not inviting you to the next tournament. I'm not giving you a free copy of the game. I'm not giving you free access to stars to interview and host replays and have this show and be on a global stage. You're not hosting our tournaments, you're not casting our tournaments because you're publicly slandering our game. He doesn't want to do that, but he actually has a position to do that. And if he loves the game so much, if people love the game so much, I feel that they should do it. This is the thing that frustrates me. When I made content, I would come against roadblocks. I would try to get on podcasts. I would try to talk to people. I would try to do collaborations with people. And it becomes really, really difficult when you're trying to make change. It's really easy. It's really easy to mindlessly go along and pretend like everything's okay and make money. I'm not that type of person. Okay? When I was playing Gears of War and I found there was a problem with the game, I called it out in Gears of War 2 when it released. I told Epic every fucking day on the forum. I said, listen, I've got people, I've got a big fan base, big at the time. I know people, I've known people that play the game every single day that love this game, and it will die if you continue in these manners. I made podcasts. I had friends on that we talked about the state of the game. We had, what should we change? I did daily videos on all the patches. I talked about the podcasts, etc. that Epic ran, and I tried to inform the community and help push change. Through pushing this change, it became like I don't want to work with you because you're seen as the negative Nancy type of person. You're the negative guy that always puts out the videos about how shit the game is. However, for me, I feel that somebody that puts out an article or puts out a video that slates the game or tells them what they need to improve, that's not harmful. There are people like the War Owl that tell CSGO what they need to change. They do it in a nice way. There are nice ways to do it. Yeah, there are bad ways to do it. Going out and call someone an arse on a forum isn't the right way. Writing an article, doing a good video, getting community feedback is a good way. And that shouldn't mean that you sever ties. However, these people aren't brave enough to do it because they just like that easy money in the back pocket. Why should Day 9, why should anyone make change? That is the question. Because it's their responsibility. They're in a position of power. The average guy that plays the game isn't in that position. He wishes he was. He wishes he could ring up Blizzard and say, hello, mate. You really need to spectate. All my friends that whenever they sign into StarCraft 2, they say, hey, can I watch a game? And they can't. You really need to get that in the game. That's a huge stepping point to getting your game to be bigger. It just feels like they're not interested. They're just more interested in lining the pockets, and it leaves people salty. It leaves them with a not so nice feel. So when I used to get messages on videos, I used to have hundreds of messages, PMs and actual comments that would say like, you need to stop making videos. You're harming the scene. You're being negative. You know, all of these things that you don't even like the game. Why are you making videos if all your videos are about how much you hate the game or how much it could be improved or how bad it is currently? I actually feel that people that put out those type of contents have way more passion than the guys that mindlessly fake happiness and mindlessly fake their love for the game for donations. There are lots and lots of streamers nowadays that stream games and just pretend everything is brilliant. There's nothing wrong with the game. Everything's brilliant. It couldn't possibly be better. They just sit along, they ride the hype train of the game out, the game dies out, they jump on to the next thing. Because they don't actually love the game. However, their fans think they love the game. So when that game dies out and he announces he's going to a new game, they go, wow, he was so passionate about League of Legends, he was so passionate about StarCraft, I can't wait to follow him on this journey. But they're not passionate. They're automatic recording, DSLR problems, but it cut out, yeah. They're not these brilliant people that love the game. They're not these happy go-getting people. They're just riding the hype train of the game. When the game dies out, they jump onto the next thing. For me, okay, here's an example, because using myself as an example is much easier than when I'm thinking on the fly. I liked Gears of War. I pushed for change. People would tell me that I was negative, that all these things were wrong, I was being overly negative, I was hurting the scene. However, I was right. The game died out. There are no people playing it in the grand scheme of things. It's never on the front page of Twitch. There's no esports scene. People don't care about the game. They hate it. And I was right. You know I was right. It hurts people to admit that I was right in 2012. But I could see where the game was going if they kept going like this. They would try to get the Call of Duty crowd. They'd pinch a few of them for a few months. Then they'd go back to COD. And then they'd alienate their entire fan base. And then after 6 months, everyone feels alienated. The COD kids are playing COD. There's nothing for us. I was in a position of power, and I tried to get a platform. I tried to use my YouTube as a platform to push for change. However, there are far too many people just interested in lining the pockets. The reason I say this is, think about it. If you have an enjoyment for a game or a passion for a game, you have two pools of players. You have the players that love the game, okay? They come home from school, work, whatever, they play the game, they enjoy it, they watch videos, they love it. And then you have these passionate people that love the game so much they're willing to criticize it to push it to that next level, right? This side that push it to the next level and criticize it are a smaller pack than the average dude, right? So all this content creation isn't about helping the game. It's not about them loving the game. It is about them pushing their personality onto the vast majority. People in the Gears of War scene, there are people, I'm not going to call them out because what's the point? There are people that are always positive. They will never have anything bad to say about it. Every gameplay they receive is amazing. Every clip is amazing. Every commentary, they love the game. They're so happy. They're so happy about this update. It's great. Yeah, they're doing stuff. But they're just pretending. They don't actually care. They're just building up this persona of they're a friendly guy, they're always positive, they did nothing wrong to harm the scene, look how positive I am. However, they are doing something by harming the scene. They are not using their position of power to make change, and it frustrates me. You would have you'd have content creators that would relentlessly be happy, and then you'd have people like me that would say, actually, the game is great, however, it'd be even better with these things. They would then never work with you or never collaborate because they were like, well, I don't want to be seen working with somebody that's negative about the game, because then you'll knock away my fans. You'll knock away the guys that are overly happy all the time. I want to aim to this demographic, not this one down here. I just wondered what people's thoughts are. It really irks me and gets me pretty fucking rustled when content creators mindlessly pretend to love a game. They're overly happy. They're completely fake. They love the game. They love the game. They love the game. The game dies out. Then they're on to the next game. Their fans then follow them because they think, well, he never said anything negative about StarCraft. He never said anything negative about Call of Duty or League of Legends. So he's a really passionate guy. Let's follow him in on his next adventure to the next game. That's not actually the guy you're following. The guy you're following is the guy that knows he has a position to make change if he wants to. However, that will burn bridges. That will cause him to lose money. He would rather line his pockets. He knows the game's going to die out. He whores the game out. He pretends to be lovely. He pretends to be this saving grace, this positive being. And then when the game dies out, he moves on. And people never question him. Because you can't question a guy that's positive, can you? You can't say to him, well, you know, he never did anything to harm the scene. He was always positive. He did. He did nothing to harm the scene, you're right. However, he didn't do anything to grow the scene, and for a person to pretend to be that passionate about a game, they should want to grow the scene. However, they just dip out, the game dies, and then they come back in for their quick cash grab, and it's rustling because they treat you like shit, basically. They treat you like an idiot. The vast majority of the world are idiots. They don't even realise it. They just mindlessly follow this guy. They're like, oh, he's positive. But, you know, he's not. He failed to use his position of power. Like I say, I was always criticised for trying to make change. I was seen as the negative guy. I actually had so much passion for the game. I actually loved it so much that I was willing to sever ties, monetary ties, you know, potential increased viewer ties with other platforms because I chose to improve the game over my own image and quote fame. I'm never going to say I was going to be famous. Come off it. I had like no subscribers, no viewers. But the potential was, if you got in with the right crowd, you could have viewers. You could have these things. However, it becomes really difficult when you want to make change because 99% of content creators are just in it to pretend they're happy. They ride it out, they get the donations, and then they piece the fuck out until the next expansion or next game comes out, and then they ride the train again. And that's all they do. They're a positive person that rides the train for money, and then they piece the fuck out. They never use their position of power to improve the game. They never criticise them, never publicly do anything. They never have a collaboration of big personalities to change the game, and it's frustrating. That's what I wanted to talk about, because on my channel I'll talk about whatever I want. So there you go. Peace.